Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Chemical Reaction from BAND-MAID and their album Unseen World. I'm musically malnourished and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos, we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music. We don't always get it right, but we always learn something. So let's get in, see what's going on with this song. All right. Chemical Reaction is a song about power, consequence, and emotional domination. It frames relationships not as balanced exchanges, but as reactions, once triggered, unavoidable. The speaker rejects logic, fairness, and emotional accommodation. This is not negotiation, it's inevitability. Yes, very BAND-MAID. Submission, pride, bitterness, and desire all collide, producing something volatile and consuming. The repeated demand to kneel is not metaphorical politeness. It is authority asserted. This isn't romance. It's chemistry that burns whether you consent or not. Always get consent. Okay. Pre-chorus. So one-sided, it's almost stupid, darling. There's no such thing as absolute, darling. Tell me about the things that hurt. Once I pick them up, that's the end. Good medicine tastes bitter. You brought this on yourself. Okay, so obviously this one-sided idea. No such thing as an absolute. Tell me about the things that hurt. That's an interesting line. I wonder if that means physically or emotionally. And maybe it's the things that hurt that once they're picked up, that's the end? Or is it picking up the chemicals that are going to make the reaction in a metaphorical sense? Good medicine tastes bitter. You brought this on yourself. So I wonder if she's trying to say, like, she is the good medicine and it might taste bitter. Chemical reaction. This isn't a logical problem. It's already accounted for. Chemical reaction. It hasn't faded yet. Look, kneel even lower. You have no choice. Bow, love me, and give it all to me. And I wonder if she's trying to say, like, she knows the effect that she has, and that once you come into contact with her, that is what you will want to do. You want to kneel lower. Or that her love and power is so strong, you know, she knows she has this power that she asserts. One step leads to everything. You know that, right, darling? Show me the value of your trust. Interesting. Almost like, do you... It's just funny that the trust, because the chemical reaction being something unavoidable, inevitable, it's like, is trust necessary? It's suffocating, frustrating to the point it hurts. There's no statute of limitations. This is the end. Until my heart catches up, you brought this on yourself. And it's like the reaction is happening and is first and foremost, because I think there is definitely some romantic imagery within the song, and maybe it is the physical is so powerful, it takes over, and it's like her heart will have to catch up in the end. Wouldn't encourage most relationships to begin off from that place. But for the sake of the song, the idea of, like, when we come together, it's so strong, so powerful. It's almost like we haven't even really thought about it, or whether in our mind or in our heart. Chemical reaction. This isn't emotional consideration. It's out of bounds. Chemical reaction. It's still hot. Come on, kneel properly. You have no choice. Bow, love me, give me everything. And then obviously we have the literal translation here if you want to go through that. Here are a few translation notes. Ego and emptiness, whose rules define what's correct. A philosophical challenge. The lyric questions moral authority and imposed truth, setting the tone for rejecting logic and external judgment. Good medicine tastes better, a Japanese proverb. Bitter, Pain is framed as necessary correction. Cruelty justified as treatment. Serves you right, not softened in Japanese. This is deliberate moral coldness. The speaker assigns blame and accepts no guilt. Not a logical problem, not emotional consideration. Speaker dismisses both reason and empathy, removes all framework for appeal. Yeah, like you can't push back against it. A command of submission, not symbolic humility with kneeling. Implies dominance, power, imbalance, and control. And one step affects everything. A proverb meaning small actions carry total consequence. The relationship dynamic is irreversible once crossed. And in kind of a summary, the song weaponizes inevitability. Once the reaction begins, resistance is meaningless. Love, punishment, desire, and pride are fused, producing heat that does not cool. Man, honestly, chemical reaction is a really interesting thought in relationships. And I think that that's the idea when you feel so connected to someone. It is in many ways a chemical reaction. Now, I think that it's wise to bring in the mind and the heart, because obviously you can engage into a relationship that's not a good thing. It's not a healthy thing. It's not the right time. But when all those pieces come together, in many ways that comes secondary. And that's really how we live our lives, period. Our emotions kind of lead us into things or into places, but then we have to take those emotions and run them through the proper channels, right? Is this good for me? Listen, you have a chemical reaction with a married person that is not your spouse. There's an attraction, emotional, physical. Run it through your brain and through your heart and be like, they belong to somebody else. And I belong to somebody else. Chemicals aside, not a good thing, okay? That's what separates us from animals. We are not just instinct. We are reason as well. But I am thankful for the chemical reaction that I had with my wife. The first time we saw each other, it was just like, obviously an attraction, but then we got to know each other, and that attraction went from just the physical to the heart and to the mind. And then as we walked that road for several years, getting to a place where we wanted to begin our lives together and be united as one, build something together, build a family together, all of those things. But the chemical reaction is still there. And I think that all relationships begin to some degree with that chemical reaction, and it can come together and be something beautiful, or it can be something destructive. That's on us. Well, thanks for joining me for this one. If you have some other thoughts, feel free to share them, and I'll see you in the next one. We're eating good.